fucking evil. I'm gonna tell you right now, you do a lot less damage downloading a video game or a movie or a book than some of these big AI companies do that rake in fucking billions, trillions of dollars, basically stealing everyone else's work and regurgitating it. And then it's funny when they get mad when they get fucking stolen from. Anyways, long story short, Reddit decides, you know what, we're gonna block things like the Internet Archive. And Reddit, alongside plenty of other, publications, are like, yeah, we're just not gonna let the Internet Archive grab information. Even they say the Internet Archive provides a service to the open web. But we've been made aware of instances where AI companies violate the platform policies, including ours, and just scrape data from the Wayback Machine. So all the effort that Reddit and all these sites put into blocking these AIs, they're like, well, fuck it. The Internet Archive isn't doing anything, and they just go right to the Internet Archive and violate TOS that way. I'll give you a great example of how an AI sort of does this visually so you can understand. Now here I have a artificial intelligence by the name of Quopus, which is basically Quen mixed in with Opus's distilled information. So yes, technically this is stolen data that's been retrained into another fucking AI and distributed for free for anybody to download and run on their local computers, which is what I've done here. I downloaded this model, cranked up that context, loaded it in, and I asked it, can you find everything you can about that Rockstar Games hack that just happened? So you can see basically what the AI does is it thinks to itself, hey, the user's asking about this Rockstar Games hack, could have occurred back in the day, but it also could have been something new. And then, of course, it searches on the Sierra XNG search engine that I've exposed it, locally, of course. It enters this prompt, searches for all the results, and then it thinks to itself, whoa, look, these are all these crazy results. But then it finds that there are recent hacks beyond the old one that was trained into its data. So then it starts researching and researching and researching and regurgitates the information that it found on plenty of websites on the internet. Now here's the big thing. You can see in some cases when I ask it to search too, sometimes it fails the ability of reading the internet. And why does it do that? Because when it accesses certain websites like techspot.com, you can see that, for instance, it gets error 403, which is blocked by bot detection. Because guess what? An AI bot was trying to scrape their website. And they weren't okay with it. For instance, right over here, you can see that when I go to one specific website like IGN, IGN tells you, hey, don't scrape our site if you're a fucking bot. Now I'm going to show you what happens when, again, a lot of these tech agencies, a lot of these tech companies, they're good at bypassing consent. So here's what I've done. I've taken an AI agent like Hermes, and I basically gave it access to a browser known as CamoFox. Now, what is CamoFox, you might ask? Well, I'll show you their website really quickly. CamoFox is a very, very good open source anti-detection browser, meaning that a lot of the blocks that these sites sort of build, well, CamoFox is a special browser designed to bypass those blocks. So at that point, I was like, all right, first off, figure out if you have access to this browser. It set it up on its own. You can even ask the AI, set up all of these technical files for me, and it'll do it. Sometimes it'll say you already configured it, which I did that. But then I asked it, okay, now use CamoFox to check IGN for the latest information on the Rockstar Games hack. So you can see the AI over here goes to, opens up the browser, goes to IGN, navigates IGN, clicks around, scrolls on the browser, gets snapshots, reads those snapshots, and then it says, hey, perfect, I found all the information on this, yada, yada, yada. By the way, the browser successfully loaded the page with anti-detection fingerprinting enabled. So earlier when IGN was saying, hey, don't scrape me, bot, I just used an anti-scraping browser to scrape IGN against their consent. Now, why I'm showing you this is because ultimately, at the end of it, ladies and gentlemen, this is what a lot of these big AI scumbags are doing. It doesn't matter if you tell OpenAI or Google or fucking anybody, hey, we don't consent to you scraping us. They'll find ways to do it. It doesn't matter. They're that good. And that's the ultimate problem. While you can blame companies like Reddit, you can blame companies like Twitter, even they fucking do it with Grok. You can blame tons of these publications, but this is a real horrific part of the internet that, unfortunately, because of these AI companies ruining fucking everything that we love, ruining all parts of the internet, this is just how it is, okay? The reason I show you these technical things is because I think it's easy for about this to have no nuance, right? They're like either they're with the AI bros or they're not with the AI bros. Nobody looks at the tech itself like I show you on this channel because I'm showing you this kind of stuff to visualize and show you just how these companies are bypassing it and how it's become almost this arms race, this like fucking cat and mouse game to keep the internet as human as we can. But then at the same time, you got a whole bunch of the other scumbags turning it into the AI festering slop hole that it is. You know, one of the reasons why a lot of people don't like to use Google, except they just go to ChatGPT, for instance, and type in a prompt, is because maybe the results are better. But nobody even verifies those results or checks if the actual source ChatGPT is pulling from isn't just, for example, another AI slop article. For instance, right over here, I went to this site, and this was SecQuest. This was on Google, for instance. And immediately when I look at this, I don't want to just outright say it, but I'm getting a lot of AI written vibes from this page right here. And again, it's difficult for me to check on the internet what is written by a human being, what is written by an actual bot. It's one of the reasons why anytime I Google things or even use SeerXNG, which is my primary search engine, I'm always typing in something like Reddit at the end of every single search. Because ultimately, I want to go to a place where human beings are talking about something as opposed to AI regurgitations. It doesn't help that sometimes when you're looking at, things like the Internet Archive being blocked, a lot of it can sometimes be AI overviews, which may be pulling in for incorrect information from a lot of platforms, right? Sometimes it's right, sometimes it's fucking dead wrong. And I think a lot of people have gotten to this like brain rot point where nobody's really verifying the shit they see